live on a Saturn day, the first Saturn day of the year. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, and messenger of God. I am Lilith and Morgan. I'm Lilith reincarnated. In my last life, I was the Morgan. We're going to talk about past lives, integration, and all that good stuff. In order to keep up with me, you would have had to catch my community page. I was posting a bunch of stuff. You know, I noticed it was just came through. He had a lot to talk about, and I think it's because I was talking shit last night. I was like, he's not useful when it comes into having compassion and understanding like that. That was not true. So he came in today. Also, finally put a face to the name Carl Jung or Jung. He's in all of my teachings. He's in all my fucking books. I didn't know who the guy was. He came through today with a teaching, exploring how I don't know, it was just a basic understanding of what he taught and stuff. What else happened today? I don't know. Oh, I had a real tell-all this morning. Tell-all. Which is interesting because that brings us back to the Lilith. Because that's all a story within a story that's already been told. And again, in that video, I had said how me and my twin flames are just reliving history and cleaning up our karma from those times. Sure. The answer is yes. Oh my gosh, they're so funny. Oh my gosh. So I told someone, whoa, what's going on with my camera? There we go. I told someone I was like hoping to catch a night shift. I was like, it's totally legit, dude. It's the easy money. You just sit around. I was like, any fucking monkey could do this job, dude. It's totally cool and it's legit. He's like, dude. Okay, cool. He's like, you know what you should do? He's like, you should take that acid I gave you and go and do the snow removal. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that, dude. He's like, no, it'll be totally legit, dude. Totally legit. He's like, and if you start to freak out, just call me. I was like, maybe yes, maybe no. And I was like, well, what really happened was I was scared of it the first time you gave it to me, so I gave it to somebody else. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, I kind of guinea pigged them. I was hoping they would take it and I could find out how they felt and then kind of go from there. It's like I've always been afraid because it doesn't filter through my mind, it just goes through my body. And I was like, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't be, taking acid and going to do a snow removal job. So right before that, right before I came on, I was laughing like unbelievably. I'm like, my face was exploding, everything was exploding. I saw this funny ass post. And I posted it in my community page about this chick said something about wiener rollies. I was laughing so hard, dude. Then after that, I saw some posts of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I saw like 2 or 3 memes. I was laughing. The last one I saw, it was like, when you've gone through a spiritual awakening and you ask the real question, well, if I'm not me, then who the hell am I? And it was from Total Recall. And it's like, that is the question, indeed. If I'm not Lisa, then who am I? I am Lilith reincarnated. Well, what do you know about yourself? I mean, I know more about that self than this one. We haven't even got to that one. I'm hoping to get some information out of there. And that's why am I saying that? Because I ended up saying something to Marshall about it. I said the Morgan was a statue of healing of sexual traumas. So here I come back as the Lilith reincarnated to endure my karma, but always had it in me to teach others how to overcome the sexual trauma. So now I must embody both essences in the same. Something like that. I'm sure I didn't say it to him like that, but it was something like that. So we're going to talk about that because I was guided to. Also, I have the Melchizedek order is up here, which, kind of throws everything off. But the Melchizedek, they knew they were the only ones that spoke of the Lilith. They were, you didn't speak of such things. She who must not be named. If you spoke of them, you were bringing them into your essence, and she'll hear us, she'll show up, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's what they do, is invocations to these spirits. You know what I mean? To the spirits, the light and the dark. You speak of them, you do chants, you do ritual work, and they show up. So in the sense of, only in the Kabbalah and in the Jewish community was it spoke of. They didn't speak of me. You know what I mean? And then as far as Morgan, that was my last incarnation, and that was over in Celtic. And that was right before Christianity had killed off all religions. It was the last to go. All right, so let's get on to this. Where to start? Well, let's start with today. Today. We're going to find out what's going on today, right? In our almanac, which means, this is all just planetary bullshit. Okay, we went to some Yule rituals. We're in this time of Yule, the fire inside, meditation. No, we're not going to Embolic just yet. We need to find the dates before Embolic. Give me one moment here, guys. Embolic is February 1st. We're not that far. Trying anyways. Where is this? We don't need the cards or the assembly. I need to find the dates. Here we go with all this fucking shit. Forgive me. I have it all out ready. Here we go. Full moon, January 13th, 5:27. It's the full moon in Cancer. Marks a time when emotions are heightened. We are encouraged to connect with our inner selves to nurture our emotional well-being. This is a great time to engage in self-care activities that promote emotional healing, such as taking a relaxing bath infused with soothing herbs and essential oils can release any emotional tension and provide a sense of comfort. Since Cancer is ruled by the moon, this is a prominent time. Journaling is highly recommended during this time. Use the opportunity to write down your thoughts, feelings, and intentions for the coming lunar cycle. Full moon in Cancer offers an ideal moment. Additionally, gathering with loved ones and group activities centered on nurturing emotions can enhance the celebratory experience. Sharing stories, expressing gratitude, or engaging in heart-centered conversations can deepen connections and create a supportive atmosphere. All right, Saturn and Venus conjunction happens on January 18th. This is a time when the energies of the two planets combined, offering an opportunity to blend the energy of love with the structure and discipline, since Venus rules over love, beauty, and harmony, and Saturn rules over structure, discipline, and manifestations. And that's what we face on the Saturn day. Today's Saturday, right? The energy of Venus and Saturn conjunction is characterized by the balance between passion and practicality, the mind and the heart. It encourages individuals to take grounded approach to matters of the heart and relationships while also fostering a deep sense of commitment and loyalty. The alignment can help witches in matters related to love spells, attracting healthy relationships, or even strengthening existing partnerships. It would also be an opportune time to work with magic that is aligned with self-love, commitment, stability, manifesting abundance. You wish to create a crystal grid utilizing rose quartz, black tourmaline to amplify the energy of grounded love during this conjunction. The influence of Saturn adds an element of discipline and perseverance to the energy. Witches can utilize this aspect by focusing on long-term goals or working towards personal growth and self-improvement. Venus and Saturn conjunction supports efforts to build solid foundations. Is a powerful time. So the season, as we plant the seeds of intention during this celestial event, always on a new moon. There are several meaningful ways to celebrate aligning with the Aquarius energy. To celebrate the new moon in Aquarius, one powerful way is to plant the seed of your intentions. This involves reflecting on your goals and aspirations, then writing them down and creating a vision board to manifest them into reality. The forward-thinking nature of Aquarius encourages us to think outside the box and embrace unconventional approaches. Don't do what others are doing and don't do what's comfortable. Do the unbelievable, is what I heard. Another way to honor the new moon in Aquarius is to engage in rituals that reflect the sign's progressive nature. Since Aquarius is associated with innovation and originality, you can take this opportunity to brainstorm fresh ideas or embark on a creative project that pushes boundaries. Embrace your inner rebel and think outside the box as your intentions for personal growth and positive change. All right, so where's that going to come from? From a god. God who gives a shit, bro. The planet comes in. It gives you a whole kick. It kicks it off on January 19th, right? They're going to give you something for 10 days. You'll sit with it. And if we pulled out our fucking, I'm seeing it right now. If I pulled out my Egyptian cards, it probably aligns with them too. To tell us, right now we're in the Egyptian, we're planting seeds of intentions. You know what I mean? It all aligns. It's like a, I don't know. It's the wheel of the year. Another way, blah, 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 blah. It is appropriate to engage in community-oriented activities at this time. As an air sign, still in our air, you know what I mean? Our intellect. Aquarius values collaboration and social connection. Consider organizing a gathering or joining a group that shares common interests or causes. This can be a powerful way to harness collective energy and manifest intentions that benefit not only yourself, but those around you. And that's it. You put collective energy together. When two or more come together. And I shared that too. You know, Mike came in today, Michael Jackson. And the man in the mirror, as powerful as the song is, so is the imagery, because he shows, you know what I mean, how important it is. And I'm crying through the video because all of them show me all the time how important one life is. How one life can change the world, and how my life is that life, and how your lives can be that life too. It's really powerful shit. Additionally, and that's what it's talking about, is like coming together for the, you know, the greater good. It's like we both, and that's what it says in Christianity, if two or more believe, then so shall it be. You know what I mean? The power of two, the prayers. It's like our energy combined. Your thoughts plus my thoughts, your heart plus my heart. We can make great things happen. You know what I mean? When two or more or more. Additionally, incorporating technology into your rituals can be fitting for celebrating the new moon in Aquarius. Whether it's using digital tools for journaling, creating vision boards online, or participating in virtual gatherings. I'm seeing TikTok. Remember they told me to jump on TikTok? And now TikTok's going down. It's just the beginning.
You have a TikTok channel with like 200 followers?
I don't know. Who cares?
A long time ago.
Again, I don't care. They're following the wrong chick. I'm not that chick anymore. Participating in virtual gatherings such as with like-minded individuals. That's another thing too that we can start participating when you guys are ready, is we can start opening up the chat lines and start, you know what I mean, really diving into individual healing and collective healing classes and stuff with people. But also I'm seeing, what did I see? Hold on. Oh, TikTok. Yeah. Him taking away TikTok. It's just the beginning. He's going to start taking our rights. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason that we can't participate in something that the whole world can. He's taking away our right to participate, our right to be part. He's taking it apart. It's just the beginning. Good Lord. Or participating in virtual gatherings. Yeah. Embracing technological advancements can amplify your connection with this tech-savvy sign. Well, that's cool. That's probably why I was calling in, what's his fucking face? Logic. He's so very logical. He's very savvy. Okay, let's keep going. So that's what's going on for the month so far. And then once the first kicks off, that's Beltane. What's up with Beltane? Beltane is its own, hold on. Or no, it's embolic, isn't it? Yeah, Beltane and embolic. Hold on. And that's where the bridge comes in, the goddess bridge. Just trying to see if I could just kind of fast forward without telling all of the stories. All right, embolic, also known as Candlesman, is a sacred holiday that marks the half solstice and spring equinox. It's a time of transition and renewal, symbolizing awakening of nature after the long winter months. Celebrated on February 1st or 2nd, embolic holds deep historical... Oh, I can smell my embolic oil. Damn, that one smells so good. I'm going to pull it out. Embolic holds deep historical and cultural significance. The energy of embolic is one of hopefulness and new beginnings. As we emerge from the winter hibernation, hey, that's where I'm at today. It is so fucking cold. That's what I said to as I was driving today. I was like, Marshall, why the fuck do you live in Michigan, bro? It is so fucking cold. How cold is it? Bro, it's like burning. And that's what I realized. My kids are saying it's because I'm getting older. My skin is there. It is cold, dude. It's like bone cold out there, bro.
It's not that cold.
I felt, bro, it hurts. I'm like, like dying out there. And I've been in a winter hibernation. I've just been sleeping all the way through the night like a baby, not waking up. It's so beautiful. And like money in the cold like this. I was like, I do this shit every week. Like, dude, you have tomorrow. I keep doing it. And you're like, you did it again. I guess I'm still on the pattern. It's not changing because I haven't figured out how to change it. And that's what I was talking to someone else about. I was like, I'm doing this just to maintain the car at this particular time. We're keeping some money, but we're really maintaining a car. So I need to, evaluate what's not working and what is working and make sure that I work more, because obviously I'm not working more in this season. And I've always said it. As a Lyft driver, January and February suck ass. You're going to struggle through January and February. I don't know if it was me or I don't know why, but I'm struggling to get my ass up and go out in that cold and make some fucking money. But at the same time, I'm hoping they'll just call me and I can just go snow shovel. You're like, it's different, bro. It's just different. It's different type of work. I'm not doing no acid though. That's crazy. But energy by setting intentions, and that's another thing too. It's supposed to be freezing like this for a whole nother week. They've already extended our stay for a couple more days, and I was looking at the weather. It looks like we're going to be here at least another week because it's freezing, bro. I mean, it's great, but understand what's putting us here is it's literally freezing. And the longer we're here, these people are going crazy outside. These people are going crazy around us. They really are. That's what made me come in, because now it's the Venezuelans. The Venezuelans were snapping off. Right before that, 10 minutes before that, my son came out because he heard this lady yelling. And she was yelling at some car. She's all, I see you. You don't even stay here. You better quit stalking me. I'm going to call the T's. You already got me last night. You got me last night. Now you're going to sit here stalking me. I'm like, damn, there is so much going on around me. And that's where you look to the world, and that goes back to Carl Jung. You look at the energy around outside. It's like, yeah, it's not affecting you until you get in it. Do you want to be part of this? And you can feel it. You know what I mean? It's getting colder and people are getting darker and the energy is getting darker. And it's like, there's like all of these synchronicities that tell you to stay in. And that goes back to it. It's like there's all these reasons that are keeping you in. And those that are fighting it, they're being consumed by the darkness that's outside, the coldness. They are actually becoming the cold. They are cold in their nature. I saw something. All right, this is a true story. It really happened. I was going to get cigarettes at the fucking Safeway right there. I went to Safeway, and in the parking lot is a little doohickey that you can get gas. And I was going to get cigarettes right there in the same parking lot. But I didn't, and instead my Holy Spirit took me to this gas station around the corner. And I go up there, and I'm going to pay, or I'm going to go get my cigarettes, and they're like, hold on, this is going to be a minute. And I was like, and I realized that they're watching him, they're like expecting him to pay. I was like, is it food? They're like, yeah. I was like, I'll cover his food. I will pay for his food. He doesn't need to go hungry. So I was like, do you need that food? And I go to pull out my food stamp card. And he opens his pocket, and I shit you not, the motherfucker had hundreds. He pulls out of his pocket. The guy's like, okay, but what about the beer? He's all, I got the beer. And he pulls out his pocket, and he had hundreds of dollars. Why were you stealing if you can afford the things you need? Why would you take from a woman with nothing when you have more than all of us here combined? And I ended up binding him and doing some magic on him. But it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? He had way more money than me. All I have is food stamps. And from my heart, I wanted to make sure he was going to eat. And this motherfucker doesn't even want to feed himself. Do you know how awful it was? How stupid I felt at that moment? How I wanted to take his head and slam it into the glass? And take his money. All of me wanted to take that handful of money that he was holding. It was hundreds, bro. I wanted to take it and slam his head into the glass, 100, and walk out. I was so upset, bro. It's like, how could you be so damning to yourself and to others? Like, you're going to do it for what reason? There's no reason to commit such a sin. I couldn't understand it. And that's what's outside of me. It's all over. And I've seen it. That's like, I'm like, maybe no. Maybe no. I can't guarantee that the people at the airport are going to be in any better energy when they land. Like, maybe not. And then you put frozen roads on, you know what I mean? You put the frozen roads, which are quite as dangerous on their own. You put Florida, California, and Texas drivers out there with a fucking Saturday attitude and this fucking weather, and it's just like a whole fucking catastrophe going on. Got what I need today, and he'll give me tomorrow. Maybe I could wake up at 3, give me a job tonight, and that's it. They said they could call me tonight if it starts actually sticking. The shit is sticking to me. Shit. As we emerge from the winter hibernation, we can tap into the energy by setting intentions for personal growth or embarking on creative projects. It is time to reflect on what we wish to nurture in our lives as we move forward into brighter days. Damn, that's exactly what Tupac said today. Brighter days. Or better days is what he said. So that's coming around in February. We'll get into that later when we get closer and all that good shit. So that's the current energy, and, you know, proclaim all that. And it's dark out there. Be careful out there. Don't go out unless you have to go out. And I think they said the blizzard's hitting the Midwest. Why do you guys live there? Do you drive like that? Do you stay inside? I guess he does. He's a total hermit. All right, let's talk about some shit. This is about to get dark and ugly. We have not picked up this book. I don't believe we've picked up last year. I really don't believe so. Where we left off was the last meeting of Lilith and Adam, one of the last meetings we were talking, and then I went into a hell of a cry, and then we left the book and we kept going, but I don't know. I'm going to pick up where I left off, but where I really wanted to go into was this. Okay, so we left off obviously on this page. The next page is Lilith as the child killer, and I want to talk about that, but this story has to do with right now. So I want to talk about this, okay? I'm just going to read it from the top. Have it your way, said Lilith. Have your peaceful life. I'm just your other woman. I will not leave you, but I will love you as I always did. Adam looked into her eyes and said no more. Her eyes were like doors, wide open into the world he had almost forgotten, and he stepped inside. They were in each other's arms and mouths when Eve returned. Lilith and Adam are united, she thought. Stay with me, sister. I will bring food to your bed. She brought food and drink to the bed for them and retired to a far corner of the house, where she crouched at the stove to keep herself warm and went into a trance. She left her own body and entered the body of her sister Lilith, and thus she embraced and kissed Adam and felt his love for her as she had never known before. But I am your Eve, said Lilith. Why do you love me so passionately? Or why do you love me so passionately? You never loved me with such passion before. Adam laughed and said, you will leave me with dawn, and I will not see you for a long time. If I am passionate, it's because your happiness is but short. How can you say that? Said Lilith. I will be here tomorrow and the day after, and so for the rest of your life. Why do you love me so passionately? Do you think I am the one I look? I am Eve speaking through my sister's mouth. You are joking, laughed Adam. I know you will leave me at dawn, and you will not be back for quite some time. Lilith, who was Eve now, kissed him and said, I wish this were so, but alas, I cannot leave you. I will stay with you because you are full of fire for this other woman whose body I have now taken over. Look at me carefully and tell me whether you don't see that I am your wife Eve. Eve sits in the far corner of the house, said Adam, but when he looked, he could not see her there, for he saw were the flames from the stove. It's an unbelievable, tragic story that's replaying. Esther Harding points out that the woman needs to be true to her own feminine feelings, not to contract or law for individualization to occur. In addition, Rivka Kluger shows that because the Queen of Shiva's shadow is made conscious when her Lilith nature is mirrored, she can reach a higher level of development and know her own deep source of feminine wisdom. An image of wholeness represents the potential integration of the feminine self appeared in the following dream of the woman who had lived out and consciously integrated many aspects of the Lilith myth. She dreamt that she and the woman named Eve rode in a limousine in queenly splendor towards the center of the four gated cities. The city appeared as a rose, gold, and black mandala with round gold cupolas, I don't know, in each corner, and a black night sky surrounding it. The patient lived the Eve side of her nature in the traditional patriarchal marriage for many years. At the time of her dream, she was living out many aspects of her Lilith nature in passionate love affair. Her friend Eve, who rode in the dream limousine with her, was a Latin American woman whose husband had divorced her for becoming liberated. He said that she was no longer Eve-like, submissive enough for him. So the Eve and the Lilith side of the dreamer were together symbolized in the very feminine rose gold and black curves of the mandala city. For daughters of Eve, the Lilith shadow lies very close to the transpersonal, and the assimilation of the Lilith has a profound effect on the individualization. The Baba Yaga, a witch not unlike Lilith, flies through the night sky in a motar and uses a pestle to row. Marie-Louise von France tells us that this symbolizes the grinding down of the essentials to the prima materia, and in the realization of the shadow goes so deep that one can say no more about it. It is the turning point. The ego in its negative aspect has been pulverized, and it has to give to the higher powers. Both Lilith and the Shekinah follow in the footsteps of the flock, are black, but commonly are experienced by women as aspects of the transpersonal shadow. Through me, women find healing. It's in our nature to be submissive. And that's why I never faulted the Eves. You have to know the story. Because Eve is something that I cannot be. And Lilith is something that Eve you know what I mean? Like, I want to be the Eve. Lilith, Eve wanted to be Lilith. She was nothing more than my sister created in my image. One could say a better version, but she was less of me. And all I did was try to make her equal. In the sense of, I didn't see the power in being submissive. I saw it to be powerless. I would lose all power by submitting to this man. But in her submissiveness, she was all powerful. And that goes back to Bobby. Are you hurt? Because Hamburger Helper is loved and taken care of. Yes, I am. But I've learned to love and take care of myself. Loved and to take care of more than just you, but the universe. It's a very tragic story. And that's what it was. Adam and Lilith only met on that occasion. The one thing that I didn't give to him was the only thing that brought us back together. And that's all that the relationship ever was. It was the only thing that lacked. The only thing that lacked was that, the touch. So, yeah, it replayed. And, as much as it doesn't make sense to me, it didn't make sense then. If you look at the stories then, how could Lilith and Eve and Adam exist and all of this be a real story? Ask Bobby and Heather how this happened. How is this real? How can we both love the same man? And how can he love both of us women? And therefore, how can I love not just him, but all of my men? It's in the stories. It's nothing new. It's just you have new eyes and new ears. It's always been told. So let me tell you some more stories. Yeah? Yeah. All right, Lilith as the child killer. The early legends concerning Lilith's relationship to children shows a progression. From the moment she came forth, she went up and down to the cherubim. And I learned a little bit of something here. I'm going to teach you something. Again, only the Jewish knew of the tree of life and even knew of the existence of where they lived. They knew forth went up and down to the cherub the little faces of tender children, and desired to cleaver onto them and be one of them, and was loath to part from them. Zohar 1:18b. But the Holy One, blessed be He, removed her from them and made her go below. He chid her and cast her into the depths of the sea, where she, there's this whole picture, aboded until the time that Adam and his wife sinned. Then the Holy One, blessed be He, brought her out from the depths of the sea and gave her power over all those children, the little faces of the sons and the men who are liable to punishment for the sins of their fathers. So what am I doing here? I'm here to break you out of your generational curses, the sins of the fathers, the children of the sinful, the fallen, the cursed. And that's why your families, that's why the darkness pushes so hard, because they can't get out unless you get out. They need you to get them out. And if you can't, your children, I will not fail your children, or any of the children. The Zohar explains that because Eve bore Cain from the fifth of the serpent, she was ever more liable to punishment by God's maidservant Lilith, who could wrench away her newborn children. And that's why they put a blessing on those children. Zohar 11:96a through b. Thus the daughters of Eve suffer the two aspects of feminine. There is Eve, the mother of all who live. Do you not understand that? But do you not understand that death is just a rebirth? Eve is the life nurturing. He killed his own child. Do you not know the story of Jesus? Do you not know the story of what happened with the descendants of Adam and Eve? He's many times genocided his own children, only to restart it. They come right back, bro. Fucking parasites. Just kidding. Eve is the life-nurturing side of the instinctual feminine, while Lilith is the death-dealing opposite. She has said that the daughters of Eve suffer Lilith's pain at each diminishment of the moon. The waning and waxing. And that's it. You must know the moon cycles. And as we go through it, the diminishing of the moon means I think it's called the waxing of it, right? Sounds like waning seems more of it. I don't know. I got the two mixed up. You gave them names. But as we shed the layers of the moon, we shed the layers of our skin and we go through the layers of our pain. And that's what I show you through our healing. Then we're full. You know what I mean? Or then it's gone and then we start to build. But it's always transforming. Modern women and daughters of Eve recognize Lilith's power at these crossing points, have used amulets and both praised and prevent Lilith. That is, many of these amulets are used for fertility as well as to prevent harm to the woman in childbirth and to the newborn. See figures 12 through 17. So it had all this stuff. It has some shit, the amulets and stuff that they used to use. And that's it too, is I was guided to say that, all of my amulets broke. Those were all of my amulets used to protect me as I went through this, all different types of protection. I don't need that protection anymore. You know what I mean? I needed it when I needed it most, but I don't need to wear it upon me all the time. I wear my necklaces that I wear, my High Priestess necklace, my healer necklace, and my jade is what you hear. That's these ones. Okay, and then I wear always my card. It's the triple goddess, and it's got my cards on it. Those ones I wear. I've been wearing my stones for the last couple of days. But access, you know what I mean, to just like people wear the crucifix. Okay? A woman experiences Eve and the Lilith sides of her nature in the ebb and flow of her menstrual cycle. In the first half of the cycle, Eve is ascent, anticipating ovulation and perhaps conception. She feels receptive, open, and related. Did you guys see that? Never mind. It was in my stories, dude. I didn't even know it was going to happen. I met up with him, and then the very next day, I had a period. I was like, whoa, that could have been a baby. Where'd that come from? And it was completely not on my cycle. I'm a full moon.
Wait,
I was a full moon cycle. No, I didn't. But that was what I was saying, and that's why I was so scared. It was like I was cycling, like my insides were ready to make this happen. I caught that the first time I met him. I was like, that's scary. And then I got a second one on the new moon, and the new moon is about planting seeds. So I was like, I thought I was cycling out. No, they're recycling. And ask my daughter. Me and her had the worst fucking moon cycles we've ever had this month. The worst I've ever had. She cried all Christmas, bro. I cried all New Year's, dude. I was like, I'm going to die. I am going to die, dude. Like, kill me, please. Like, I'm going to take a knife and cut them out myself. Like, I'm going to die. I'm going to kill these babies. Like, seriously. When conception does not occur, Lilith holds sway. Hope gives way to despair, and the witch carries off the desolate wilderness and bitterness of the menstrual. Serious, I'll kill you. Just kidding. According to legend, Lilith was made barren by God when he cooled the feminine of... here we go again. That's it. No, he had to chastise me. Leviathan, she had no milk in her breast and was unable to bear human children. Lilith's jealousy of Eve is underscored by the folk belief that a single drop of Lilith's menstrual blood is laden with sufficient bitterness and poison to kill the population of an entire town. And that's what I meant about I had to do a blood offering. I'm dead ass. And that's why I've never donate plasma and certain things like that. It's anointed, bro. It's poisonous. It'll kill you. Just kidding. The war between Eve, and that's what it is. It's like it's said that the dragon's tears can heal. Yes, come here. Let me show you. The war between Eve and Lilith rages on yet another level. Eve can have her needs met, can have her needs met in a relationship. Lilith cannot. She must cut and run. She refuses dependency and submission. She will not be bound or pinned down. She needs to be free, to move, to change. She's an aspect of individuating feminine ego, and can only develop in the wilderness, unrelated, without childless, or ever jealous of Eve who remains in man's embrace. And that's the Famanach, but I don't have it, but it lies within me. And that's what he said. He's like, he didn't say it, are you jealous? But even that's what fucking, they know how to hit me where it does hurt. You got some healing to do. Fuck off, Russ. Russ does that. He knows. Does he do it? His higher self knows what he's doing. He's just a pawn in the game. I mean, ultimately, it sucks ass. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, if you went back to it, what was it? Jealousy, envy. It really was. I was jealous for a life that I didn't want, and envious about a life that I gave up. That's what's so sickening about this. It's not even a life I want. I don't want to be that bitch. I'm not going to serve your fucking ego like that. I just want to serve your manhood. Just kidding. It's programming. That's why God's like, you're going to play Eve this lifetime. It's not working out, God. It's not working out. I'm not submitting. You see what happened the first two? Oh, keep trying. I don't. Okay, sure. That's what he said. You shall submit and bear two more children. Does this have to do with my... Yes, it very much does have to do with your abortions. That was part of the game, too. Gosh, you baby-killing bitch, I guess. All right, let's just keep going. Here comes Carl Jung again. This guy is in all my books, dude. No wonder. And at least I know his face now, fuckhead. Was he another Russian? Another German? Heinz Hummer. Oh, that guy. She needs to be free to move, to change. Yeah, I'm all of that bullshit. Men and children and mirrors. Lilith's jealousy. In Symbols of Transformation, Young speaks of Lilith's story as a parallel to the myth of Lamia, who seduces. Jealous Hera retaliated. I told you, Hera was just a feminach who was nothing more than me. Retaliated by causing her to bring, and that's it. He just keeps replaying these games, dude, in all realms. It's so obnoxious. If we could just change it here, we can change it everywhere, where they'll stop imitating it. It's not an imitation. It's the Mandela effect is what it is, the butterfly effect, whatever. It's just time replaying over and over and over in all places. They look to us, they look to Earth as how to play. You look to God, but you don't understand. You are God outside of the universe. You are God's children, which is in essence God. Oh, that's Russ. Hold on a second. Someone's like, Russ? I know, right? My only friend, his name is Russ. Russ and Cass. They're cool. What'd they do? They gave me a bunch of weed because I gave them a ride. I was like, cool. But they already gave me some weed, so, that's cool too. No, they're cool. They're cool peoples. You know what I mean? And that's it. Stoners are so, sharing, you want to smoke? You hungry? You thirsty? That's what they're always doing. You want to cook? You want to come down? That was them. Do you want to come take a shower? Do you guys want to watch? They gave us their Netflix so we could chill. They're so sweet. They're so sweet. You know what I mean? You can't judge a book by its cover, bro. These are great people, bro. They just have lived a life, dude. They live the streets, bro. They're the streets, bro. But the streets are full of love, bro. They're full of love, bro. They're great people. Great people. To it. Let's see. Jealous retaliated by causing her to bring only dead children into the world. And that's what happened with Medusa too. It's like, you know what I mean? Retaliation. It's like, oh, I got to play both sides. I'm so tired of playing both sides. And that's it. It's like, I got to play all the roles in this life. Ever since then, the raging Lamia has haunted pregnant women. And do you know who Lamia is? You guys know who it is. La Llorona. Lamia, where her children were killed, so then she kills other children. Lamia has haunted pregnant women, kidnapped infants, and struggled. I'm seeing also Rumpelstiltskin, and strangled them. Figure 18 shows the winged bird claw Lamia bearing off a newborn babe. The cycle of alterations between the Lilith and the Eve aspects of the women's psyche is endless. And that's it. As much as, because if I was you, I'd be doing that shit too. And she can't stand me. She can't stand my freedom and my that I can fly, I can. And it's just this lack of understanding. I get you. I lie when I say I'd never want to be you, because if I had your life, that's exactly what I would do. And if you had my life, you would probably do more. And that's it. It's like we what am I hearing? We covet that in which we see. Okay, that was from a creepy movie. Something. I'm hearing that. What is that? Hannibal Lecter? Yeah, that was a great one. But in the sense of, it's like, I look at Jonica. Okay, you know what happened today, actually? Kanye's wife. What the fuck is that bitch's name? What's her name? Anybody? Okay, forget it. She's a bad bitch. And that's what I was thinking about. I gave her so much shit for giving Kanye head out in public. I was like, how could you just demean yourself like that for his pleasure? Did you hear my story this morning? Projections. A lack of understanding. A lack of understanding. Right? Right. So, going back to it, Jonica, I'm like, dude, I could never fucking sit there and deal with his shit all day like you do. But yet I'm over here dealing with his shit all day like you do. In a different way. I have to deal with different shit from him. But we're still dealing with his shit. You know what I mean? And if I was you, I would deal with it. I'd deal with it differently. But to say that I didn't want to live, I didn't want to be you is untrue. Because there is proof in those videos, and you have the actual memories, little girl, that I did want to be you. And you reveled in the idea that you were you and I couldn't be you. But now look at how the tables have turned, and how funny it is that I laugh at you because you could never be me. But I tell you, you wouldn't want to. As much as you try to dress up and you want to be me, he won't love you anymore for trying to be me, because he loves you for being you. And that goes back to Bobby. He wouldn't love Heather if she was me. And he wouldn't love me if I was Heather. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't love both of us. And there's many of these stories that are just misunderstood or not understood. And we're bringing understanding to things that have stood since the beginning of time. This is the story of the beginning of time that have not been told, but are being played out right now in these times. And we can change time if we stop fighting over the things that we love. Right? The story of Adam and Eve and Lilith is told in the Zohar. He created Adam and he gave him a partner. As soon as Lilith saw Eve clinging to his side, she was reminded by his form of the supernal beauty, and she flew up from thence, and lived by the Red Sea until Adam and his wife sinned. Then the Holy One, blessed be he, sent her forth to ever after wreak her revenge on the children of mankind. And that's what I said to God. You didn't stop me. You allowed me to do this. He created me to do this, is what this says. But he didn't destroy me, and he didn't force me. And that's where the compassion was. It's like those children that you love so much more than me, that I fought. You fought them, but you didn't fight me. And that's where it was the peace. And that's what I was trying to describe about hell and about Lucifer and about us demons. We started to learn that we were equal, and that he didn't favor you more because he would treat you equal. Not so much. He showed, but that was through Jesus. Through Jesus, we saw his mercy and his grace and forgiveness. For before that, you had to atone for your sins. You had to make such offerings. You had to make sacrifices. Our God was very wrathful. And through Jesus, he was not. That was our Savior, you know what I mean? In the sense of, he showed us what he really wanted from us. He finally showed us when we were always, as man was looking to gods and gods were looking to man and everybody's looking for God. He gave us himself in Jesus. And he sent her forth to ever after wreak her revenge on the children of mankind. I'm going to stop there. It goes on, and yeah, there's great stories, but that's just the beginning. And yeah, that's how he created me. And he makes no mistakes, you guys. This is how he created me in the beginning. This is what he created out of his children. He created chaos, destruction, sin, all these feelings, all of it. He created this whole story. But when he created the beginning, he created the end. And here we are. Let's talk about the cherubim. And again, that's how I know the tree of life. I was casted. I would go to these places and he would, all right, time to go. All right, 33. Kerbriel, which is illumination. This is part of the Archangel Fire Oracles. He is part of the Gold Ray, which is also Metatron. I didn't bring Metatron's card. The Stellar Gateway. It's about 12 inches above your crown. The healing qualities are direct access to Source, understanding our infinite nature, limitlessness, divine insight, enlightenment, and the Christ light. Crystals associated are gold, gold tektite, pyrite, citrine, gold topaz, and healer's gold. The essential oil is frankincense. Again, that's Christ's. That's how you honor him. And I tell everyone to get a citrine. The star constellation is Orion's belt, and then it's got the sickles. All right, one of the heads of the mighty cherubim angel, Cherubim, is the powerful angel, unlike the classic picture of the chubby flying babies. Cherubs actually have 4 faces, that of a lion, that of an eagle, an ox, and a human. You must understand the significance of the ox, the eagle, and the lion throughout all pantheons of religion, which point to each of the 4 directions of the compass. The name cherubim means wisdom, and Cherubel's name specifically means the flame which dances around the throne of God. Okay, and that goes back to the book of Lilith. I should pull it out, but I stand behind the flames of truth in the Garden of Eden, which again is, if you take these scripts and you break down what the scripts mean, then you understood it. But it was just, those were the words that they used in the time of the visions they saw. Revelations is hard to see in those words, but I can show you what they meant, what they saw, using our words, and that's the interpretation, right? Let's see. When I first experienced a meeting with this force of an angel, I felt and saw huge golden talons, like those of an eagle, coming down from above. We saw the eagle last Saturday. I physically felt the sheer weight of this being as it perched on my shoulders. His eyes had flashed with golden fire, and his wings blazed, and the lightning came out of multiple surges of electrical heat. Golden fire surged and spewed in sparks from his human mouth when he spoke. His request was far from light and fluffy, although still loving. It left me trembling. However, although he may look and sound rather ominous, this angel really does not... My eyes are going out. You think I'll lose my vision? They seem to just go dark a lot. Have our best intentions at heart. Like the cosmic lighthouse, he calls forth peace and light and sends it out to all directions. He forces his flame to ignite the highest heights of wisdom and knowledge within us, and he is here to help anyone on the planet to awaken and ascend. Message: do not delay. The time has come to share of your light. Be unafraid to speak your truth, for there are many who will benefit from your message. And that's what Michael came in today, and that's where it said is like, what are we doing? We're taking off the skin. We're wearing the shadows that God has made us, and we're shining light on those shadows so that those that are in the shadows can be set free. I'm setting free so many just by I speak. I can only speak on so much. But you have very powerful words and very powerful testimonies to things that you are still carrying too much shame for. Do not carry shame for the life that God has given you, because it has much purpose. The things you shame are meant to save others. Not just you, but your family before you. And those of our brothers and sisters that we don't know are suffering from the same things that have happened to us. And those that will suffer if we don't speak now. The message from them. Let's see. Becoming the angel. You are at the center of the universe. Your world revolves around you. Have you ever stopped to consider the power you have? From the perspective, everything, all life, all existence pivots around you. When you realize you are... my eyes are literally going out. I have my glasses on and the words are just totally blurring. I can't see them. Let me see if I take them off, if it's any better. When you realize you are in the charge of the way you choose to perceive our existence, you may come into the wisdom of knowing you have the power to direct the course of humanity and our future. And that's it. I cried too. All of us did when God gave us a vision to work for him. But I'm only one man. But how many were there in Michael's video? Martin Luther King and Gandhi and Mother Teresa, Mother Cabrini, Joseph, all of us, Jesus was one man. He didn't know he was the Son of God, nor did I, the daughter of God. But we are the sons and daughters of God. And he's asking us to stand up for those that are being oppressed right now that can't speak. He's always asked everyone to do such works. And only a few have chosen to be so brave. Malcolm X. This is a very, very, all of the people I speak of, all of them, Billie Holiday, you know what I mean? Princess Diana, all of them had to speak. And those that didn't, that died without telling their truth. I speak with so many more of them. I know we're only one person, but as Martin Luther King is like, together we are many. And if we start telling these the normal things they don't think is normal and the things they persecute people for, we can show that they are normal and they deserve love too. They don't deserve hate. They deserve understanding. They have special needs. They need us more than you can ever understand. With all the tears running down my eyes for all those that have come before and the world that they put on my shoulders. It's like, how can I change the world? But to each one of you that I get, each new one. My daughter says there's 300 people on TikTok. All the hundreds that I did bring and still pushed away, I still planted seeds that I know grow. And to you guys, how many do we have? I don't know, 286, 7? We're the seeds. We're the beginning. We are the seeds that can change the world. All we have to do is change ourselves and speak of it. Speak the truth of what God has done in our lives. Just show the transformation. We are the walking testimony by just doing this work. These are great works. And I show you it's not easy. But if you could just cry, that's all it takes is to cry. Cry for yourself. Cry for your parents. Cry for your children. Wash the land free with your tears. And we can change this. If we just feel these feelings for those that they killed before us. People die for their feelings. I've seen, the Prince of Israel. Alia and I live in a world where we can't love each other. We will die for love. We will be killed for our love. Still in 2025. And we do that to same sexes as well. We kill them because of love, because of their love. We've got to learn to just change ourselves, and then that alone will teach others how to change themselves, and we can change this world. What kind of world do you want to see? What are you creating through your intentions and perceptions? And that's it. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's his plan. And he never makes a mistake. And he has chosen for me to be part of this plan. And many of you he has chosen too. I told you what the work is. You've seen it. We listen to him and we follow him to new lands and we wait on him. And while we're there, we laugh and we love and we learn and we cry and we grow. We plant seeds. We chop down stuff and we plant new seeds and we continue. We spread the words to those that he'll hear. And we plant, we clean the lands. Little by little. And that's what we do. We water our gardens. We tend to we take care of us and Mother Earth, and we let him take care of everything else. Choose now and hold the vision of the world filled with love, peace, and understanding. Embrace your light and know your worth. Curabell comes to those who are ready to step beyond the confines of their human mind and reach into the upper echelons of the eternal soul self. And that goes back to it. It was really funny. It was like, by the time you know my worth, I'll be making weenie rollies for someone else. And it was super funny. As part of it, it's like, I'm not hating your meal. I think the fucking name you came up with was so creative. It's like, dude, we need to have Chef Ramsay come out here and just fuck him up with this shit. Just lift the lid and let him have to eat that Costco hot dog. Or your weenie rollies. have a spread contest. All these dudes from jail and put them together spreads. Have him judge them. We'll show you how to use real ingredients around here. Sorry, that's Bobby. You're trying to convince me that the grass is greener in hell. It really is. You're living in your own hell, bro. Or heaven. I don't know what it is. I want you to be part of my world. I don't want to be part of yours. As I always say to everyone, trying to create a new world. We're creating a revolution. Don't invite your mother or her boyfriend, because I don't like either of them. I'll work on that. Oh, God, your mom's never going to get a boyfriend like that. Just kidding. I'll try to find her something. Leave it to Lilith. Lilith finds love for everyone. All right. Embrace your light and your new worth. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Beyond the confines of their human mind and reach the upper echelons of the eternal self. Though it may not always be as gentle or simple a process as we expect it to be, trust that you are pivotal to humanity and exactly where you need to be. On page 110. And why is that? Because, and that's what I told everyone. Why are all your twin flames these famous guys and all this? Because they were already placed as seeds in power. They were always powerful before. They're just powerless now. They can change the world. All they needed was someone to show them how. And that's what I was supposed to do, is show you how to do it so you can do it. And I will support you. I will show you how to do this. As I do my work, you will do yours, and we will do great works. We will change this world. Yeah, it's great stuff. Let's talk about Melchizedek. He's the last card of this book. He is the Ascension, and almost all the time I turn to his page right as I'm doing this. Melchizedek is the universal logo. Like the president of the universe, he represents over lightning consciousness of our cosmos, and he's a bit like the grandfather of the archangels, the keeper of the ascension pathway. He's the one that gets us on our ascension. He acts as a bridge between heaven and earth, who helps us find enlightenment. He governs the universal golden ray. That's where we just came out of with the curables. I just told you that. And the silver violet flame of self-transformation, sacred geometry, and the 7 cosmic rays of creation, which are all contained within the highest diamond of the light spectrum. He's like the grandfather. He's like the father of all fathers, and the all father is what I heard. Okay, my first encounter is a great thing. Something. I am Melchizedek. I asked if he had a message for me, and his voice bestowed 2 words. Spiritual alchemy. I didn't say this yesterday in my video. I said I was going to walk you through the Magnum Opus. In science, let me get my cards out, sorry. I actually went through my cards. I cleaned everything today, so this wouldn't be so hard to do. In my Black Moon Liliths, it talks about the Magnum Opus, the process of spiritual alchemy. Same with Carl Jung, same with all of my books. Okay, it's the 12 gates. I said I was going to read this yesterday, but I got caught up and I didn't read it. Okay? The Magnum Opus, or the 12 gates of alchemy. The first one is calcination. This is the internal transformation through fire. Okay, this is what we call the tower moment, the ego death, the awakening, where you get a higher perspective. Initiating the alchemical process, the spark of inspiration to change is typically triggered by a difficult event or life discord, right? The trigger moment. where you see things differently or something pushes, right? The tower falls. Disillusion. In this stage, through the element of water, that's your, you know what I mean, your feelings, the subconscious mind is cleansed of limitations, trauma, outdated patterns, and belief systems. Okay, so we come to a higher perspective. We see it. Now we start processing our feelings about it. Where we're limiting. We're going over, why did I think that way? What made me? What trauma made me? You know, why was I? How long have I been playing this out? Where did this come from? Do a lot of that. Okay, we pulled it last night. Then the separation, a time to remove or sever ties with that no longer fits. So you've come to the realization. Right? You come to a realization. You start to process the emotions about it, but now you have to remove it. Cut the cord of societal programming, toxic people, and difficult memories that hold back your light. Using your air, that's what we said, your intellect, right? So now what has happened is it comes through your mind. You see a vision, right? It's all the way works through your chakra system. You see a vision, right? And then you have to work it through your, you know, how you feel about it. Now, you have to remove it and start giving yourself time to say that it's, you know, tell yourself that it's no good. Okay, so during this time, your brain is aligning with what you're seeing. You know what I mean? You're going through the process of it. Conjunction. After separation is a time to reunite and harmonize with the physical and spiritual element of Earth. Okay, that's where you've taken this new reality and you're grounding it. Okay, I've got to get myself up and realize it's over. And I have to move on in this over. Right? And this is usually a Monday, right? How does this happen? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You come to, you know, the conclusion that it's gone. Monday, you really sit with it. But you have to kind of, self-acceptance and empowerment are the key. You have to accept that it's happened, but you have to keep reassuring yourself that it was for the best. Okay? Seriously, can't make this up. Putrefaction. That's also Monday. Death, decay, rotting away describes the putrefaction. While it may sound morbid, this is when the remaining internal darknesses energies arise to the surface. It means you faced it, you felt the feelings of it on Saturday, but now it's really starting to hit. It's starting to hurt. You know what I mean? The dark energy rises from the surface. Shadows of the soul are visible, causing difficult emotions, as stated by, there he is again, Carl Jung, psychology and alchemy. This is where you purge the darkness of the mind, meaning your mind is terrorizing you because of what you've done. All right, the cogulation. You are now embodying your true essence. That'll happen on a Tuesday. God who gives you strength, you're in your Mars. It is where new spirit works with the physical body and becomes one. You are stepping into your soul's gold. Now you're walking in the new reality. Okay? Gate 7, cibation. Alchemy gets practical during this stage. New habits through processes and ways of being are merged into your life. Mind over matter. Okay, that's by Wednesday. You start speaking about how you've overcome. Yeah? Thursday, sublimination. The soul is lifting and ascending like vapor during this phase. There is an union between your body and your spirit. Everything's good on a Thursday, dude. You feel good in your skin. You feel good about everything. It's Jupiter day. 9, fermentation. Like when grapes turn into wine, it is the maturity and aging process of your new way of being. Gold must age to become more powerful. Okay, so by Friday, you're already over this, and you're right back into a new one. Boom! You're in between stages. Other stuff that you've already done on Monday, you know what I mean, that you've already gone through, is already done, and now there's a new one coming in on a Friday. Exhalation. Joy, abundance, happiness, and wealth can manifest during this stage. This is when the stones start to form. You are in alignment with your truth and magnetism. It takes a long time. It depends on how long it's taken you to accept it and walk in it. How long is it going to take you to accept this? I really can't believe this. It's been 2 weeks. I still don't believe this. Is this really what it is? Yeah, bitch. When are you going to believe it? The quicker you believe it, the quicker it becomes real. And finally, embody your higher self with ease. Manifestations are becoming instantaneous. That means if you believe it, it becomes real. You just have to wrap your head around it. And what are you wrapping your head around? Only truth, guys. Don't fucking try to force a fucking fart. People try to be manifesting shit that's not meant for them. You work with the seeds. You work with the stones that are given to you, the philosopher's stones, the visions. Only the visions that are given to you, because they're only going to work because they're for you. You don't start jumping on somebody else's track. And that's what a lot of people do. They take my visions and try to envision them into their lives. And it blows up in their fucking face. And I'm over here looking at you like, wonder what I call you, bitch. All right, multiplication. It becomes to become an expert alchemist, you must repeat this process. This is when you revisit past stages and implement the Magnum Opus daily to strengthen your new self. That means daily you're facing them. And that's what I say about Kobe. You don't get here without doing it 4, 5, 6 times a day, starting at 4 o'clock in the morning. Meaning as soon as I opened my eyes, I had a memory or a thought that I've got to work my way through. As soon as I'm done with that, I've got another memory or thought I've got to work my way through. As soon as I'm done with that, I've got another memory and thought. Now I've been doing it. I've worked through so many that we're just in deeper levels of subconscious wounding where they're not all on the surface. In the beginning, you have so many problems, bro. And there's so much to work through. You just keep going through them one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. Finally, you get to a place where I am, where literally they're on a schedule. Every, couple of days you'll get them, or if the moon is heavy, or if the planets are heavy. But you know it's coming. That's why I did a Friday. Something's going to push us. What pushed me? Me. You could say my outside world, but I found my tower in my cards. I realized right there, I was looking at myself in the cards, and I realized I am the problem. I didn't need someone to point it out. I already pointed it out. And really, if you look at it, it was probably pushed from someone else. And that's where it is the synchronicities, where the outside world is pushing you to look inside. Special days, they come and fuck with you. Okay? All right, so it's you do it every day. Projection. We pulled that card. That was the last card. This is the last and final phase when you've achieved the Philosopher's Stone, your desired result of alchemy. You can project your true essence into the world with ease. This high frequency is mirrored back to you with support and abundance from the universe. Meaning, I'm giving it my all, so the universe is giving it all back to me. And that's when you've really accomplished it. And that's when, you know what I mean? It's like, that's even this morning's video. I'm being my true me. This is me. And I shouldn't have denied myself, but I understand why I did. And it's as demonizing as you want me to be. That's how God made me. And that's when you own the Philosopher's Stone, the sword in the stone. This is when you own your true self, is when you're just like, this is how God made me. I understand. And that goes back to that funny ass fucking thing I started laughing about. From Total Recall. He's like, when you've had I think I saved it. I think I downloaded it because it was too funny to me. It's like when you've had so many spiritual awakenings, you start asking the real question. Well, if I'm not me, then who the hell am I? Aha. Who are you? That's the discovery. Is who really lies within me. And that's why I was like, who's making all these dirty, dark jokes? I think it might be me. I really think it's me. It really is. I'm really dark and dirty about this shit. It's like, no, it's not me. That's not me. It's your shadow. It is so me, dude. I am so dirty with that shit. In the sense of, you just were you. That goes back to Pac. We were listening to all his music, and then Dear Mama came on. I was like, no, I don't like this song, Pac. So why you don't like my song? I was like, because it was my childhood. It's like, it was my childhood. It's everybody's childhood. That's why I made the song. I was like, damn. And that's why I don't like certain fucking songs of fucking Marshall. I'm like, I don't like that song. It's really sad. I'm not listening to that song because that was my life. I don't want to listen. I don't want to look at that part of my life. Thank you very much. And that's what I do to Ellie. I don't want to listen to this. You're making me hurt. You're reminding me of how bad I hurt. I don't want to listen to this. They're over there fucking new song on Friday. Can you please stop it? What's the song? Waiting for you. Are you waiting for me or am I waiting for you? Who are we waiting for? We're waiting on God. That's what he said. Does it have to do with God? I love you guys. Anyways, the Philosopher's Stone. You can project, yeah. So that's how it works, okay? Well, let's get into this whole bullshit, Melchizedek. So, here's a funny story. It's not funny. It's really true, and I'm like, damn, that's a crazy story. Here's another story. This guy, I forgot his name. I think his name is Dan. Dan, on his 33rd birthday, had an awakening, and his was the Melchizedek. I mean, it's better than the Palladians. How do you explain aliens are talking to you? He had to say Melchizedek. I go around telling people Tupac. It doesn't work for any of us, really. What did you say, Kanye? Harriet Tubman was talking to you? Was it true? You know I can tell the truth, right? I'm just saying. It's funny. It's like, dude, guys, I can't. They're going to fuck you over with this. Oh, we're an incarnate. Hey! Shh.
I'm not talking to you.
We're at 1:15. Give me 15 more minutes. Incarnations and karma is where we left off. We didn't make it very far, apparently. Obviously, we're still in our karma, and I am the Lilith reincarnated. All right, there are different ways of looking at karma. You could say from the time that God created you as a soul, you were only good and benevolent. So that's not true. I mean, for how long? Going back to me, Lilith. For how long was I good and benevolent? Till I said no? Then I was no longer good and benevolent? This is really funny. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I know how God created me. For how long? Was I supposed to be good and benevolent for longer? So everything that you imagined, sensed, or felt as part of creation was also good and benevolent. Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't. I have a very irritated feeling about him dragging me around that garden. I didn't really like the whole, him being in charge since the beginning. I didn't like the feel. I'm telling you, I have this really obnoxious feeling about listening to him name off everything in the garden. It was like, why don't you ask me what I think it should be called? He didn't care what I thought. That's what I mean. I don't like you. He didn't care what Evie thought. It's just, he's uncaring. God made him that way. Ugh, why did you make him this way, God? Told you. He's very logical. Therefore, you have good karma. But often when people talk about karma, they speak of bad karma, frequently meaning that you have to pay for something you did in your past life. I didn't do it. I'm just trying to do it. I'm not paying for it. I'm doing it better. You can have bad karma for thousands of years, and usually it's because those choose not to love yourself as God does. That's it. Can I say it again? You have bad karma for thousands of years, and usually it's because you choose not to love yourself as God does. And you're not willing to forgive, release, and let go. So it spills over into your next life, and another life, and another one. I think that's what I said to Russ today. I was like, are you still mad at me? You're just going to be mad at me for all eternity? In actuality, and that's why. Why is he mad? Because I abandoned him. I did it again. And it turned around. His words turned in it. And it's like, he stuck by my side while I was working on me. And I didn't really abandon you. I just didn't stick by your side. And that's the same thing. It's like he was always there. In actuality, karma is neither good nor bad. It's merely the mechanism you use to achieve balance. I don't want to hear about your friend's near-death experience. Reincarnation is real, but it's more profound than anything we've begun to understand here on the earth plane, and it is complete justice. There's total balance within that system. Incarnation equals incarnate, or in the flesh. Reincarnation, coming back into the flesh. Karma, balancing mechanism for events. I don't want to talk about Phyllis Atwater's after-death experience. She saw all of her past lives. She looked down and saw a descent spiral of energy, and along with the descending spiral of energy, there were many balls of light, and each of these little balls was a lifetime. I told you. You're just a light, a fragment of light, and you put a piece of yourself in all different, you were these pieces. Now, all of these pieces of me are being put back into one being. All of these pieces of light that I was, all the light I was in all these times and spaces are now integrating into one light within one body. She was able to look objectively at the whole collection of little spiraling balls of descending energy as they arrived at the present moment. And she realized that each and every one of those lifetimes or incarnations...
You hear that?
That was gunshots. And I think that was in the parking lot. Don't look out the window. I told you. Did you hear that, dude? Wait, be quiet, because then the next thing you'll hear is fucking... No, you'll hear police.
I hear people.
Damn, bro. That was gunshots for sure. That was not fucking fireworks.
That was part of it.
Fuck. Did you hear that? Maybe it was fireworks. If we don't hear sirens after, then it wasn't. Damn. I believe it though. Like when I saw that the Venezuelans were fighting, then I went inside. I was like, uh-oh, you guys are actually like serious. And they were just fighting each other. Yeah. If we hear sirens, we know what it was. All right. Anyways, death, bro. What do you want me to say? My block, like Puck said, my block, bro. My block. Let's see. The opposite direction. One was spiraling clockwise, and one was okay. This was the moving, and she then looked through the spiral that was ascending. This was moving in an opposite direction. One was spiraling clockwise, and the other was counterclockwise. They call it anti-clockwise for Lewis. She saw all of her possible future lives created right now based on what she believed about herself in the present moment. Where these two spirals met, there was a brilliant white light, and that was the present. She understood that she was the cause of all her effects. She understood that if she changed now, then those were the lives she was going to have in the future. So she made the conscious effort to change her perception of herself by self-love and self-worth and so forth. This could change the past. This couldn't change the past, but it definitely changed the future. In the essence, it does change the past because the stories of the past don't have as much power if you're not reliving them. Meaning like you always been a crackhead. Okay, but if I stop smoking crack, I ain't always a crackhead.
You just used to be a crackhead.
Right? Exactly. It means it was the former, the later as they call it, the latter. I always think that was weird, the latter. Anyways, going back to this. Let's see. She couldn't change the past, but it definitely changed the future. Furthermore, it not only changed her future, but by association, others' futures as well. Your change of attitude can shift a galaxy. And that's it. Your choice. How you use your free will in this life can change everybody's lives. Here's a related story. I don't want to tell this story. All right, here's somebody about Jesus. Never mind. A friend of mine in Rochester, New York, is an engineer, and he'd become so frustrated with spiritual things that he demanded that he demanded of God that he be shown the truth. He told me that he fell asleep and had a dream in which he met Jesus. Jesus showed him a descending cone of energy, representing a total past, and an ascending cone of the possible futures. And in the middle was a white light, the present moment. When he awoke, he went outside, and I tell you guys all the time, I'm just a white light in here. I'm just a white light in here. Inside of my body is nothing more than a white light. Can you see it? I don't know. Put me under an x-ray. When you awoke, he went outside, and every blade of grass and leaf on the tree had an aura that he could see. He was never the same. Later on, he became a priest in the order of the Melchizedek. We all have those options, though we do not know we've got them because nobody told us. Love cancels karma. I tell you this all the time, fuckers. When you love yourself, you don't have to go through those future lives. Besides, being miserable just gives you another opportunity to choose to love yourself. That was yesterday's card, Fated to Suffer. If you opt to love yourself, it changes your future, and it also changes the future of everybody with whom you come in contact. And that's me as the Lilith. I cursed God and I cursed man for what God made me. Now, it had an effect on all of mankind and all of the universe. Now, as I love God and I love mankind for what God has made me, what do you think will happen to the entire universe? Some of the people with whom you've come in contact may have chosen to have an array in their lives, but it will no longer be you. This issue is not about having to do good deeds or having to say 10,000 mantras or eating only boiled rice or wearing Oh God, I'm seeing Kanye trying to push those clothes. Sackcloth or putting bird dung on your head. That was Bobby. He's all, I don't believe in chicken legs and unicorns. If you believe it is so, no, I get one.
I know. So, and there's 2 legs.
Okay.
Can I have one?
Yeah, you can have one. I never had one of those before. Those things were amazing, bro. What are they called? Croissant pillows? Is that what they called them? They were delicious.
Want to show them?
Yeah, give me one of those things, dude. Pull one out. These things are amazing, bro. It's fucking dessert.
The sprinkle one got all over your thing and took me for a while.
I'm not eating boiled nothing. Do you see this thing? It's as big as my hand.
Turn it over so they can see the strawberry.
It's delicioso.
Delicioso.
I can't wait.
It's gonna get all over your table.
It's going to be delicious. Anyways, when he woke, I don't know why I got him. We stood there. We have the hardest time picking desserts. We really do. We have the hardest time picking desserts. Not that we want them all. We just don't know which one we want. And so we picked something we never had before. When he woke, he went, wait, what? Yeah, we already talked about that. We talked about that. If you opt to love yourself, it changes the future. Yep. Some of the people, yep. The issue is not about having to do good deeds. Yep. The intent or the instant you love yourself, the kingdom is in the place and perfection reigns. It's always there. It's just that we're not willing to let ourselves have it. Ugh. The one things we want most, we fear. And if you've been resisting love for 10,000 lifetimes and you decide to stop resisting love, and it's not an easy process as I'm doing right now, and then says, and what it means is, for me to stop resisting love is to fulfill the role that I denied. Okay, you know what it's going to take. You're going to have to submit. If you want to have this life, I'll give you this life, but you'll have to become that woman. Ew, I can't be me. Wait, there's got to be another. And that's where it is how can I be me and still do what I was destined to do? And that's where it is. It's like, could Lilith ever submit? I'm trying. He said I can. He said I'm going to have a husband and kids. I'm working on it. And how do I do it? I just work on me, bro. I can't fix you. I don't even know what's wrong with you. I mean, not really. I could tell you what I think is. It's your mother. Just kidding. And resisting love, that's all it takes. You make the choice. All of those past lessons were just to bring you to the point of making another choice. After one of my, I don't want to keep reading all this. Something about Connecticut. I stop. I'm stopping there. That's all we're talking about right there. I'll stop right there. On page 104. We're stopping right there. Is that love changes everything. One act of love can change everything. Love for yourself or love for another. In essence, that's what I was talking about, Marshall, on that Hustle and Flow. That act of love changed everybody's perspective, changed the entire atmosphere, changed the season, changed his name. We saw his heart, and it melted our hearts, right? And that's it. Now, going back to his act of love when Marshall did the sit down with Slim Shady. That was him loving his younger self, showing that act of love. And that healed other people to reflect and look at their younger selves and understand, why the development of this part came to be and how important it is and how we work together with these parts, right? Other things that he does, when he made that video of the making of Houdini, you know what I mean? He showed that was him loving himself, willing to allow himself to be seen in a silly light. I'm going to show you my bloopers. And, that was an act of love. He was sharing himself, but he loved himself enough to let that part of himself be out and be judged. That's logic. Logic's great for that. I love that. He'll let his silliness out. And I fucking love it because people are going to make fun of you. I know, but it's funny as fuck, right? I know. I love him. And that's me. Man, you're such a clown. You're so funny. I know, I'm fucking hella funny. Stop laughing at me. It's too funny. I gotta do this, though. Alright, we don't have time. I never have time. I don't get to know about my last life until I get there. Some of you will know more about my last life than I ever do. Because I'm still stuck in my first life. No, you heard in the book. Baba Yaga. You heard about Kali. You heard about all of it. It's like, It's all here inside of me, and I'm working it all through. I'm working through the karma of all of these lives. I'm bringing it all together in this life so I can, you know what I mean? Not be the Shekinah, but be the Lilith in the light. Be God's daughter. I can't say the way he wanted because that's exactly... Yeah, I blew my nose on it. Yeah, you might want to wash your hands. I can't say that I want to be a better daughter because that's what... There was nothing wrong with the way he created me. This life, he wants more for me. He wants me to play a different role. And that's what it is. It's like he wants me to just be his daughter in this life and lead his children. And that's what the proclaim, the story was when I got here. That's not what it looked like when we got here, boss. I mean, seriously, that was the role I signed up for. I will be your daughter and, the mother to your children. Then I got here, and one day, it wasn't even a whole day. I mean, I guess it was because it was nightfall. But it's like, in one day, I was like, okay, I can't do it. You're going to have to find someone else for that job. Give me a different job. So he did. And that's it. And that's how I am in this. I'm like, I can't do this. He's like, yeah, you can. You can do this. I'm like, I can't do it. And that's where you turn to. It's like, Jesus did it. I'm not that guy. That's what I always tell you. I wasn't created like Jesus, but I can be like him. I can walk in his, I can program my flesh to be like his flesh, but I wasn't created like him. God created him like, a certain part of him. Who's like him? That's Lewis, bro. Lewis is very Jesus-like. If you really want to know. That's why I'm always protecting him. You need to protect his light. You know what I mean? You protect his light. And that was a big thing. It's like, he's very Jesus-like. He very much has the Jesus consciousness, he had the Christ consciousness. And it's not that, his skin color or the way no, definitely not the way he dresses. Jesus didn't talk Brit. Say bitch. Say bitch. I want to hear you say bitch in Brit. I think it's going to be sexy. Anyways, going back to it, it's like, no, we're not that guy. But we're going to be like his, We're going to try to strive to be like him. We'll never be him because there was only one him. But there's only one me. And there's only one you. And we're not going to conform to be like anybody else but a God. Not these people. These people aren't our gods. We have a God. We have many gods to look to. We don't look to each other and claim them to be gods. Mr. Rap God. I'm going to wrap your ass up, motherfucker. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Hey, I got it. Hey, you're going to love this, Marshall. I got him. I got him good. Remember I told you I keep telling Royce, put your hands up. Put your hands up. And I didn't know why we told him that. You know what I told him? I told him today, put your hands up in prayer. That's a good one, right? I got him, Marshall. I got him. I got him. Hey, I love you guys. That's today's message. What's it about? Me and you. Me and you. Your mama and her fucking booty boyfriend too. I'm just messing around. Yeah, I know. I love you. We're all family. We're just a really fucked up ass family that God made us, and we're gonna put each other back together. We shouldn't have separated. And that's it. The separation was, all of us equally. We chose to walk away from each other and to walk away from God. But now we're going to come back to each other and we're going to guide each other back to God. Got it? Hey, let's hope we catch the Jesus side of God. Ah! Psych! Even Jesus is coming back to reign like God did. I was like, uh-oh. He's not gonna be the same Jesus he was. He's got more of God's power. God's given him judgment on this time. That's it. It's like he's not gonna be that. He's Jesus for sure, but he has a much different role to play in the second coming. And they said it. They tried to tell you what was gonna happen when he came back. You guys. I'll be there. I seen him. I'm pregnant. I have to put my head to the ground when he walks by. Wouldn't you? It's okay. He picks me up afterwards, and then I grab my dude, and we go sit with him, and he talks. It's cool. We have a talk. I always have a talk with him. Do you know your Savior Christ? Do you know Savior Christ? Hey, I love you guys. Didn't mean to freak you out, but I'm a freak. Let me just take a minute. I want to invite you to be part of God's world, but it's a world that we're creating for him, and I can't see it all, but he's given you visions too to how to create this world. And I need your visions. I need your help. I need you to step into the the calling that God has in your life, because he didn't call me to do this by myself. And we're not by ourselves. We have all the greatest in the worlds.
Me.
All the worlds here. Yeah, Jonah Ark is here. We got Benjamin Franklin. They haven't stepped into their true self. I barely started working on it 2 years ago. They will, though. They will activate, and she will fight. And he will develop our new technology, and we'll build this new world. We don't know what's inside of us because we haven't activated it, and that's what we're doing right now. You know what I mean? But we can see it, we can hear it, and it's been there, and it's gotten us this far. If we just trust it more, it's going to take us to the greatest lengths that we never knew. And what is it? God. God is inside of us. He made us like him. And if we just listen to ourselves, not our brains, but our hearts, we can be great gods again. I need your guys' help. I've seen it done. One man can change the world. But this is going to take all of us. I need 144,000. That's what they said. You can be that person. What does that mean? You're going to have to sacrifice your life for God. I've shown you what it looks like, and it is a little scary, but he doesn't forsake us. He won't go without. And some of you are in a better position than I was when I started. You know what I mean? Jesus didn't have shit. We kind of didn't have shit. He did that on purpose. It's not like he joked us. I guess I did have shit, but I sacrificed that shit just like him. I believed. And he's asking the same for you in different areas of your life. Maybe you're not fully ready to jump, but maybe just start taking some of the jumps. You know what I mean? Start to feel what it feels like to let go of some things. Start going through this process. It's a long process. Again, you don't get here like me until you've given it everything, and that's all that matters to you. And that's it. The kids are like, why are you doing a meeting? Because it's Friday, bro. God's going to send something at us, and I have to prepare the world. I need to tell them what he's telling me. Because what is it for me to know everything and you not to know nothing? To leave you blind. You're not blind. You're not deaf, and you're not dumb. You just don't trust. You don't trust yourself anymore. That's all we need to do, is start trusting yourself. Your heart, not your thoughts. They're all wicked. Listen to how you think about yourself. That's not true. You're not any of those things. And I don't know why yeah, I can understand why you think that way. But we're going to stop thinking. I want to say completely, but maybe you will get like me, where it's like I tell people, I don't fucking think about shit. If something pops in there, it's either a vision from God or some healing. Like, where'd this fucking memory, where'd this thought come from? Let me figure this out, because this is a dead space in there where nothing exists until I tell it what to think. And then it tries to tell me what to think, and we go to war. I don't feel that way. Let me see why I think this way. And it's a process. It starts the battle of good and evil. You're good. Your mind is evil. Right? Maybe those weren't gunshots. I didn't hear anything.
I heard cars screeching.
Maybe it wasn't gunshots.
It was a drive-by.
It was a drive-by. There still would have been... Dude, if it was real gunshots, somebody would have called the police or something. I don't know what it was. Didn't sound good. Anyways, I don't know what's going on right now. Again, it's hibernation. If I take an L, it's because I get a win. And that's what kind of God was showing me. I was like, he showed me the weather, and he's like, you'll probably be here another week. I was like, well, I guess I could do better next week than I did this week. And ultimately, did I do bad this week? No. I thought this was going to be different. I put all my hopes into what I thought I could do physically, not understanding what I was really going to need to do emotionally and mentally. It's like I had all the energy. I had the right intentions, but the energy wasn't there. And is that my fault that I didn't have physical energy? I couldn't physically push myself to go out in 20-degree weather and, everything? I don't know. Some could say, maybe I should have pushed myself harder. But in the essence, it's like, I don't know. What difference would it have made? I didn't make my hundreds of dollars. And that's okay. He gave me something to believe in, and I worked hard on believing on that so that I wasn't worried about everything else. And sometimes that's it. You just need to focus on one thing. Just stay focused on this. But what if I don't get this? It doesn't matter. Just stay focused. Just focus. And that's where I'm at. It's like I didn't get what I wanted. And it's not that it's too late. It's like, well, you know, it's not like it's over. It's like I can still have what I want. Rome wasn't built in a day. Who said I was going to do this in one day? Just because I used to make thousands on that day before, I'm not the same person, and these aren't the same days. And that's it. I did great, but I didn't do what I always did, and I didn't get what I thought I could get. And then that's where I'm at right now. It's like, do I go? Do I go out in desperation? Am I desperate? Or am I faithful? And that's where it is. It's like, if I don't go out chasing today, he'll provide for me tomorrow. Why do I have to worry about today? I spent all day actually cleaning. I took care of my space. I did 4 loads of laundry. I swept. I cleaned. I took all of the stuff and cleaned the whole room and everything. I just took today to take care of me and my family. We had food, and I haven't rested. I just barely had my first meal. I don't know. All I wanted to do was this. I don't feel like I'm supposed to go to work tonight. If they call me for the snow removal, then perhaps, but I just don't feel it. And it makes things hard. People outside of me, they're like, you're never going to get ahead if you don't do the right thing. But you don't understand. This right here is a battle to do the right thing, what feels right. And there are many days of me crying, forcing myself to do what felt wrong, just because I thought it was the right thing to do. What you think is right is not always right. It could just be what you were taught was the right thing. But if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't. And it just doesn't. And sometimes you just, especially right now, you've got to do with what feels right. Even though it might make things harder for you in the long run. I might suffer from not doing what I thought, what my mind told me to do. I maybe should have listened to my mind and not my heart. I maybe should have pulled from a deeper space and found the strength to keep going when I shouldn't, when I gave in. I don't know. You don't know what that is until after you get there. Come tomorrow, I'll look at the situation and be like, well, where are you at? How do you feel about what you did last night? How do you feel about taking the night off? Was that a good idea? Do you feel good about what you did? And that's it. If I feel bad, then why do I feel bad? Is it because I've hurt myself? Or is it because I just feel bad that I didn't do better? That I didn't do what I thought, that my mind thought I should have done, or that other people? It's a constant battle. Everything is. And it's really just internal battles. Nobody can tell me shit. I could call someone and I could tell them what's going on in the weather and how I feel and what I've done all day and what my finances are looking like. And they could look at all of it and decide what's best for me, and I could follow their lead.
Yeah, you should do that.
You know what I mean? I could call someone and they could tell me how to live my life. Say, you know what? Based on what you said, I think you should go to work. Or based on what you said, I think you should probably just stay home. There's 2 different voices out there. One is going to tell me what is the best thing to do out of security, and one's going to tell me the best thing to do out of love. I think you should just take care of yourself. I think you're right. I think you should just stay in if it's that cold. If it's cold, it's probably dangerous. If people are acting crazy, then maybe you shouldn't go out there. And that's love, compassion, and understanding. Somebody else is going to say, dude, you should probably get out there, because what happens if you ain't got no money tomorrow? What if it gets worse tomorrow? What if? What if? What if? They're pushing me to be productive only out of fear of failure. But pushing me to take a loss, a real loss, which is don't be productive, don't make no money, sit where you are and be still go without. The only time someone, God or Jesus or anyone would tell you to go without is because they're trying to protect you. People aren't going to tell you to go hungry just to make you suffer. If they tell you not to eat it, it's because they're protecting you. That's not going to make you feel good. You don't want to eat that shit, bro. It's going to poison you. You know what I mean? They're not going to tell you not to eat something that's good. In fact, it'll be really gross, and they'll be like, dude, you got to try this. This shit is disgusting. You know what I mean? In the sense, so don't always listen, because you don't know where they're coming from when they're trying to lead you. And either one is just trying to help you. The person that tells me I need to go to work, they're just trying to help me. The person that tells me I need to stay home, they're just trying to help me. But they're trying to help me from different places. And is it helping me if I'm listening to you and not trusting myself? Why don't I trust myself? Why can't I just listen to myself and it'd say, don't go to work? Why do I need to know that it's okay? And that's what I mean. We don't trust ourselves. I don't know what I'm doing. I might get a wild hair up my ass and be like, I'm off to work, which means that I couldn't control my ego. On the other hand, as I'm doing right now, I'm going to take off my jewelry. I'm going to eat that big-ass fucking croissant filled with cream and fucking strawberries and maybe, just maybe, curl up with the kids and watch some fucking Marvel comics. Hey, Logic! You collector. You fucking hoarder.
You say that like a slur.
It's funny because we pulled it in the cars and I left him out of the conversation. I was like, yeah, we all collect shit. And then I was like, oh, dude, you have a collection of all kinds of bullshit in every one of your videos. You are a total hoarder. You need to, like, have a yard sale or an awesome giveaway. You should do, never mind. You're asking me to give away all my toys. Okay, forget it. We're not going to do a yard sale and give the fucking, give the contributions to a charity need or anything. You just keep playing with your toys. Maybe your kid will want to play with those toys when they're your age. Are you going to hold on? You're not going to want your kid to play with those. That's what you don't understand. Just wait. It's your first kid. They destroy shit. Last thing you want them to do is to play with your collectors. But then you don't play with your collectors. And that's what I mean. People that collect shit just hoard shit. That's like Lewis and all of his fucking trophies. Lewis, where do you collect all this shit?
How many cards have you not used?
I use them all. At weird times of the night and day.
You sure?
Yes.
Every single one of them?
Yes, I really have pulled out everyone. Except for those weird ones that I don't know. But now I'm learning I'm learning what cards mean. I have these weird tarot cards that were given to me in the beginning. But they didn't come with a guidebook, and I didn't know tarot, so they just have cool pictures on them that I don't know. I don't know what they mean. I had those. But yeah, I use all my cards. I'm like thinking to myself, is there a card in there I haven't pulled? No, we just don't.
Stranger Things one?
Those are your cards that you don't use.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about collecting bullshit. I don't even know what a 2 of scoops means.
It's from the Scoop season where it's all about the Russian spies and they figure out through ice cream.
Okay, well, 2 of scoops means union. 2 or more means union. I think it means the 2 of cups.
It's like
I don't know.
three people to do it.
Okay, well, why'd we buy those? Those are Stranger Things. Anyways, going back to I don't know where Logic came in with his collecting bullshit. I just saw it in a quick glimpse in my peripherals. I love you, Logic. Don't be so logical. That's what we're talking about here is don't be so analytical. Work with your divine feminine. Work with your feelings. Don't be a bitch and be all in your feelings and like pouring them out on everyone and like forcing people to feel, feel sorry for you. But feel. You know what I mean? It's a delicate balance. You know what I mean? You don't want to be all sachet with that shit. What do you call it?
What? Saucy?
Saucy. You want to be feisty and all that.
Oh, zesty.
Zesty. Yes, there you go.
You're gay.
It means you're gay.
Be zesty about it. Don't be fruity.
Don't be too zesty about it. Don't get too spicy about your feelings, but feel them. And I mean, shit, your feelings are my feelings. I am the divine feminine. I feel for you. But we gotta feel them, bro. They're not all great. And that's it. As I cried here, it's like, dude, that's the hardest one. Can you just cry? It really pulls a lot of your soul. It's not as painful as fucking laughing. I feel like when I laugh, it's so much more painful than crying. The crying just stops and I take a breath. The laugh is like, it never stops. Every time it pops in my head, it just keeps going. It's like, I can't stop this. I can't stop it. This shit is hilarious. Hey, I love you guys. We pulled off another 2-hour one. Who's watching these? I don't know. They'll be on Netflix one day and then you can chill. Hey, laters, haters. Laters.